gonna start off with the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All are present today. Myself, Phil Morrow, David Peters, Thermal, Brandy, Glenn, we have Dave Kelsey, and our newest member, Joe Fleet. Welcome, Joe.
Thank you.
With that said, I would like to swear Joe in, make it official for tonight. Joe, if you can repeat after me, I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of the state,
and I will fully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of this office,
the duties of the office
the Planning Commission for the Township of Cato Township,
of the Planning Commission and for the Township of Cato Township,
and County of Macomb,
County of Macomb,
and according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You can just put your signature there, and we'll be official. So we'll be fully, staffed, so, thank you. I'd like to get a motion to accept, the agenda. You all have a copy of the agenda, I want to send to you before that. Anything to add or omit or for tonight's meeting?
Maybe just discuss that form Leslie provided in the zoning administrator update for the form. I think she provided it. That'd be my only add in the for zoning text changes. Other than that, I'm to accept the agenda.
Discussion? Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. February meeting minutes. Brandy, I'm not gonna ask you to read them all. I mean, I think everybody's got a copy of them, yes? If you like, you could, but,
Do you want me to do anything? Do you want to highlight anything?
is anybody,
I had read through it and it reflected
good?
everything that I would agree with, yeah, if there wasn't any changes that was made.
We did have one change to a name on a zoning permit. Dave, it looked like it said Joe Grieger, but I think it was Joe Greaser. Is that? Okay. So we changed that, I just wanted you to know.
so we got it right there?
We do
Yep.
have it right
Okay, very good. Anything else? Can I get a motion to accept,
I'll second the motion.
there. You're making the motion.
Oh, I'll make a motion to accept that.
February 9th?
I'll second.
Second? Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. So Brandy will send that back out and take the,
Watermark off it, yep.
yep, and that will be, good there then. Is Leon Thompson here?
Yeah,
Leon?
Yep.
Welcome.
thank you.
I put you to the top of the agenda, because I didn't know, I know it's kind of a short notice. And as a commission, I guess, can you explain to us on what you would like to do and or what you're looking at, or?
Okay, sure. With what we're doing with the VFW hall, well, I guess the VFW just got done using it again for their, cornhole tournament. We let them use that for that, but, the plan is to put that, split the building kind of in half. It's probably gonna be a 70 or 30 split or 60-40 split. And we've got approvals from the Michigan LLC to put in a small party store on one end and a bar / beverage center on the other end with some outdoor seating as well. And we're just looking for that, in order to do that, obviously, we gotta have that zone commercial. Well, that would be the reason for the request for the commercial.
Commission, do you have any questions for Leon?
Who did you say you got approval from, was it the
Yeah.
state?
The Michigan LLC, Liquor Control Commission.
Liquor LLC,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't know if you guys know us, we're kinda new to the community, but we bought the gas station down here and still working on getting that open. Hopefully we'll have that open by June, I'm hoping somewhere in that area, but just like everything else, COVID hasn't helped with any of that.
And currently, that is zoned what?
You know what, honestly, I don't know. You're talking to VFW, I really don't know.
The same property that we've been talking about, that they are, I believe, yeah. Yep, and so the two options that we discussed in the past, we could do a rezoning, or you guys could do text amendment to the zoning ordinance to add that as a permitted use in the AR district. Either or, we're gonna have to have a public hearing, 15-day notice, the whole jazz,
Yep. So right now, go
What's
ahead,
it zoned right now?
AR, I believe.
Agriculture.
Yeah.
Agriculture.
because when the building was sold, obviously, then that zoning goes with it, it's gone, so
Right.
now you're asking to have it rezoned.
Yeah, okay.
Or have that amended in our book where you do that in there. If you rezone it, that kind of goes into, it's like the beginning of spot zoning, is that?
Yeah, that's the only problem with when you rezone property, you have to look at the master plan to make sure that it's consistent with what that particular use is intended for that parcel. And you can't, it's discouraged for townships to have one parcel that zones something with surrounding land uses that are zoned something else, and that wouldn't be necessarily compatible with what that proposed zoning
There's already
district
several
is.
in the area.
Right, so it's something that we'd have to look at the existing zoning map for and review the master plan to determine if it would be consistent with, rezoning it to commercial use.
So now that we know what you want to do with it, I guess as a commission, I think we wanted to hear that from you
Okay.
as an individual. There'll probably be some forms you're gonna have to fill out to.
Yeah, Dave said something about them have the forms online or something, but if you got them here, that's fine too. But yeah, whenever you get the forms, I can leave you an address to send them to, or send Dave over, an email or something.
So I don't know which way, what form, should he apply for rezoning or, wait until the planning commission, if they decide to change the, permitted use or special use under ag? You know, if he applies for, rezoning, if you guys aren't planning on
I
spot zoning.
don't think it's recommended that we rezone
No,
that.
it's not.
So I think I used the wrong term.
So, yeah, so he'd have to fill out a special use permit, but
Yep.
before that, you have to, as a board, you guys have to adopt that into ag residential as a special use, cause it's not listed right now as you can do it, so.
Yeah, and I had proposed, and submitted a sample application form that we can use going forward, and that has both a request for rezoning as well as, a request for a text amendment to the zoning ordinance. So that would cover both, regardless of which way you wanted to go with it. So, and I think you guys have copies of
Yep,
that.
and I think that's what Brandy brought up, right?
Yep. Yeah. So that's something that you can submit for a text amendment, if that's the way that.
Yeah,
Is
so we'll.
there anything in the verbiage of, and I've just heard this before, but non-conforming special use? I don't know if that helps anything out, because I've just heard that thrown out before, but I don't know nothing about it.
I believe that would just fall under a special use
Yeah.
application, from what I can remember when we.
Non-conform, like, use variance.
I don't know, I've heard the term, I don't even know what it means, so.
Use variance, every township I deal with can't do that because the state, zoning enabling act says something about, I don't know if it was 1996, if you didn't have one before that date, you can't do it. And we can't here,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, whatever you guys figure is the best route to take, just let us know.
So on our agenda, we have some conversation that we probably will talk about tonight as far as how to proceed with that.
Okay.
Currently today, we don't have anything on the books, correct? So, yep, so, but now that we know what you're talking about, that way when, we'll get you that hopefully some paperwork there, and then we'll move forward.
And if
You
you
get
need
that back
any,
to us, and then
if you
we'll
need,
take
do you need any prints or anything like that, and paper, I don't know if that helped you out.
Eventually, yes.
Eventually, that'll be.
Oh,
part
yeah,
of the-
yeah.
That'll be part of the special land use application
Gotcha.
process.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, some
You have to have a
detail.
site plan and, you know.
All right, no, you don't need me here any longer then.
You're good.
I
No?
made it on the skin of my teeth. Thanks for the pledge of allegiance, I just wanna
Yeah, you're welcome.
say that, we're all
Thanks for
like
coming,
that.
appreciate it,
Thank
bet.
you.
and welcome to the community.
Thank you.
Any other discussion on that? Joe, anybody else have anything?
No, I think that was what we needed for clarity on
Yep.
exactly what they wanted.
And that's why I moved into the top of the agenda, just to eat in here and then discuss some other commitments. Moving to public comments. Public comments, are for you, as far as the public. It is 3 minutes, as far as the limit. Please respect each other, please, make those comments to us as a commission, please, and please don't talk over other people, and just common courtesy, please, and, with that, I will open up public comments. Just a minute. You in the back there, do you wanna, I can bring a couple chairs, or you can come right up front?
We can't stay very long at all.
Oh, okay, very good. Okay.
Do you need to
I
make,
was
do you
gonna
guys
try to
wanna make a
stand there, so-
comment? Do you have a comment to make? No? Okay.
Public comments? Yes, please.
Jamie Snyder, Cato Township. Welcome, Joe.
Thank you.
As citizens of Cato Township, I've gone around and asked and spoke with a lot of people. Just as a, update for Joe, the citizens want 100-foot or less turbines. Obviously, that's not gonna happen, so we would request a 350-foot tip height. Setbacks from lakes, wetlands, and rivers and streams, we are requesting 2 miles. From non-participating property lines, 4 times tip height, which is what we currently have. From roads and, road right-of-ways, we also would like between 3 and 4. We would like no shadow flicker on roads, on property line, or anything past property lines. We would like our sound to be a 35 L max from the property line during the day, 30 at nighttime. We don't have to deal with these noises currently. We don't want them to want to deal with them after this point. We want our ordinance to say that the ADLSs are a must. And also, most of you have probably seen the study that went out with the eagles, the 150 eagles that have been killed, and NextEra being sued for this. They do have a avian detection radar system that is also something I personally would like to be a must on our list. You know, people compare turbines to cars. Well, if you look at how many cars are out there and how many turbines there are, that's really not an even study. It's very rare that cars hit them in this area, but we do have quite a few of them. Turbines in the air, that's their natural habitat, flying around and around. As for, hold on just a second here. I don't know if anybody watched or read the article from the Pine Township meeting. I will reference Dan Main because he made a very good point. We just don't trust this company. And quite honestly, I don't trust any of them because they all have the same MO. They all have the same repetitive motions that they go through. Yes, they are salesmen. I don't think we should put, we don't really wanna bank on their promises, cause they're not coming through with a lot of promises that they've given. I was hoping to have a Morning Sun article for you guys, from March 16th, where they explained how Apex still has not made payment to the Isabella County in order to build their prison or their jail or their court. I can't even remember what it was, but I was really hoping to have that article with me, and it hasn't came yet. So I just don't trust these guys. Thank you.
Your name? I know you're gonna say everybody should know, but
Sorry. My
My name is Pat Clark, I reside on 7724 Vining Road, in Cato Township. I might be obliged here. This is a copy of our home that was taken by the previous owner, approximately about 1983. Sorry. We bought the property in Randy, I'm gonna give you a flashlight here, because sometimes that's a little harder to see. But did I give you one? I'm sorry, Joe. Oh, I did. That was because about 20 minutes to 5 anyway. I was, oh my gosh. If you look on here, here's my house. The fence indicates the property line. This piece is from this corner to Elmy Road is approximately 2/10 of a mile, which is how many feet? What?
It's a 40.
Yeah, but I'm just saying from that point to there, what, about 1,300 feet? My concern is this piece has been leased out. In the corner of this on Elmy and Viney is a pond that blue herons stay there. The geese, Canadian geese there, we've seen swans, we've seen egrets. My nephew has pictures of them. They're starting to fly in here, let alone the sandhill cranes, but I don't really, coming from Jackson County, let's not talk sandhill cranes. But anyway, I just want you to understand the potential of a turbine being that close to my home. And I don't have the right to really tell this person, these property owners, they can't put a turbine. That's obviously your job. I want you to understand, my husband and I plan to spend the rest of our lives here. I turned 65, I'm an official senior citizen. But I do want you to understand the importance of those setbacks, whether it be safety, whether it be the noise, the flicker, the endangerment to, and we've got a picture of an eagle sitting on an old F-20 behind our barn. You know, the eagles are in our area too. I watched the mother teach the baby how to fly one summer afternoon. Didn't do too good, but Mama come and got it. But please understand these setbacks are so important. I'm just one individual, but there's many of us out here that our homes are gonna be affected by your guys' decision. I don't have to tell you that, but you can see evidence how close the property line is to my home and our retirement here. Yes, sir.
Your time's up.
Oh. I thought you said, hi, Aunt Pat.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you. Yes,
I agree with everything that the last two people
Your
have
name?
said, but I'm changing the
your
subject.
name?
Oh, I'm sorry, Deanna Sweet, Cato Township. I've lived there my whole life. I have asked for lines to be painted on Youngman Road where I live. We get school traffic, we get the traffic of the young people going to the college. In fact, it's too much traffic, but I need lines on my road, not just center, but also outside lines, because they go by terrifically fast. And at night, it's absolutely crazy the way these young people drive, and it's dangerous. My family lives on that road, and I want that done. Also, my second request is to really ponder, now that that house has been sold on the corner of Youngman and 46, we need a light there. My son-in-law, I teach piano, I've had 3 children injured desperately bad by accidents on that corner. Besides, I know others have had accidents. That is a horrible corner when you're going west and trying to turn south. And buses cross that, young people cross that, and someone is going to get killed again if we don't do something about it. So that's 2 of my requests, besides the windmills, which are absolutely idiotic.
Is there not currently a light there?
No.
Cardinal.
Youngman and 46?
There's been,
There's
Youngman and
There's
46.
just a
there's
light
no
light, not a
Street
stop
light.
light,
Yeah,
a blinking
okay.
light or.
yeah, there's.
No, you want
We
a
need a
blinking light.
traffic light, and
There's
all
a-
the complaints I've heard.
There's currently,
It's semi-
there's a street light there.
All I've ever heard is semi drivers won't like it. Well, poopy. How many are on 57 in Greenville? If they know the light is there, they will learn it and they will stop and they will go on, just like every other road that has traffic lights.
Thank you. Next. Yes.
I actually do have public comment after Pat spoke, I'm sorry. My name is Julie Toddy, and I'm actually Pat's next door neighbor. And I just wanted to back up everything that she had stated, but also, I spoke on it last year. But my husband suffered a bad head injury a couple years ago, and, the shadow flickers and the sound would have such a mass effect on him that it would definitely make us have to move. And this is where we wanna spend forever, and we moved out here because, you know, there was no neighbors and it was peaceful and, it's close. I mean, Pat doesn't live right next door to me, but we have a field in between us, but it's close enough that it would affect our property as well. And he's only 36, but it would be horrible for him. He still suffers from vertigo and migraines and everything, and that would trigger all of that over again. So to me, it's really important to consider people who have issues with head trauma as well, so.
Okay. Thank you, Joe. Yes.
I'm Marcy Myers, Cato Township. We've heard from multiple township officials the statement, my property, my rights. I'm a real estate broker and have advocated for property rights for almost 30 years. I agree, you should have a right to do with your lands what you want to do. But I also believe, and I think you all would agree, if those certain rights infringe, encroach, and oppress my land rights, that would be wrong. If you give the rights to certain citizens to host classified industrial wind turbines on their property, then you are obligated to protect my rights as an adjoining landowner. My rights that already exist. I currently have the right of peace, enjoyment, serenity, beauty, safety, health, welfare, and development of my property. I'm not hosting an industrial machine. If these machines are allowed, you need to consider the highest of protection for my current rights as a non-participating landowner. Host a turbine, it's your new right, but my current rights of peace, quiet, and enjoyment of my property means that you need to set in place a 45 LMAX noise restriction at my property line that will protect my rights that I already possess and enjoy. Host a turbine, it's your new right, but don't take away my right of my gorgeous skyline. Height limits are important. A conservative height limit of 350 feet will protect my current rights that I already possess and enjoy. Host a turbine, it's your new right, but don't compromise my safety by setting them any closer to my property line than 5 times the tip height, or per the Industrial Turbine Safety Manual, the minimum of 1,640 feet. And you must enact the greater of the two. This will protect my health and my safety that I already possess and enjoy. Host a turbine, it's your new right, but don't take away my rights of enjoying my property without having to deal with an annoyance shadow flicker from an industrial machine that's spinning 200 miles an hour. My land, my right, zero shadow flicker. Please protect what I already possess and enjoy. Please create this new ordinance with us in mind. Protect our rights that already exist. Protect the rights that we all already possess and enjoy every day. You must consider the health, safety, welfare, and rights of us all. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcy. Anybody else? Yes.
I'll add to that the safety manual, Chris Stout, Cato Township. I live on Binding Road too. And it's a 400-foot turbine safety manual, states you need to see a 1,640-foot radius all the way around for none of their people to work in while it's running. We want responsible setbacks of up to a half mile to 3,000 foot on non-participating properties. like Marcy said, the 45 L max. And if you have the setbacks great enough, the infrasound that these produce won't be as annoying as these other people were alluding to. And no shadow flicker on my land, and we need to protect the water ecosystems. I have a creek right across my road. A lot of people call it a ditch, but it's the beginning of Skunk Creek. I can go 2 miles downstream and catch brook trout. Now, you have to protect that stream just like you would Tamarack Lake or any other lake or river. Tamarack Creek is right up here. That should be protected. Wind limit should be 350. And one thing I haven't heard, the avian bird protection's already been talked about. And the limits have been talked about for height. And we need the removal of all materials when decommissioning, because this is farmland. And when it's done, it needs to go back into farmland, not with cement below the dirt.
Yes. The safety manual, obviously, Matt Hubbard, Cato Township. A lot of people have spoke about the safety manual. The 399-foot turbine, it asks for 500 meters, which is 1,640 feet in case of a fire. That's 4.1 times the height of the turbine. At least that. That's on a 400-foot turbine. Secondly, bodies of waters and wetlands, I'm asking for 2 miles. I believe Dan Main spoke of it. There's the settlement and stuff is gonna get it disrupted. And I don't want that to affect our lakes, wells, irrigation pivots. New thing, I believe they should have surveys of property lines by the applicant, because I'm not gonna take somebody's word that that's the line. I want a survey to know where that property line is at. And then the last one is the bird and bat detection system. If I kill the bald eagle, I go to prison. They do it, they get a fine. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, man. Anyone else? Yes.
Is this, okay?
Yep.
Yeah, my name's Fred Vise, I live just 2 miles south of here. Is this meeting about windmills?
This is the planning commission, this is the time that we're having public comments. You
Oh,
can
so if I wanna
comment
bring
on anything you would like to comment on.
Oh, okay, is there a windmill person here? No windmill people?
Nope, doesn't look like it.
Any windmill people? I have windmill questions, but I'm not getting questions, I'm not getting answers. Does anybody know where the windmills come from?
China.
Where?
China.
China, yeah. What's the deal with that? We're gonna zone this to bring in more Chinese products, and they're not cheap. Yeah, they come from China. And once they're old and recycled, where do you send a recycled windmill?
Landfill?
Yeah, it just goes back into, they just bury them. That's all they do with them. You can go to a landfill out in Arizona and they just take care of them out there. So I had questions on that also.
Well, this isn't really a question, comment, it's just more of a comment. So you
That's
can just
okay.
talk, I guess.
Am I doing wrong?
We're not here to ask questions to the audience or us, it's just more of a, what we would like to hear from you on what you want to say to the planning commission.
Well, see, what I'm I'm trying to get answers to things and I can't get answers. And these people seem to have answers. And you guys don't seem to, I'm looking for a windmill person. For instance, when the windmill comes, how much money do they make?
$1 million a turbine over the lifetime of the project.
Where'd that voice come from?
$1 million a turbine over
And
a
Fred,
55-year
this is not a
lease
question
period.
for the audience, this is more of a comment to us.
Okay, well, they get $1 million.
Okay.
All right. See, but see where I'm getting my answers from? See, I'm not getting it from anybody here, I don't want those windmills anywhere near. There's so many things, they're killing animals, and ugly to look at. I go to 127 on my way to Lansing, I say, those things are horrible. It's War of the Worlds out there. Those things, and then I go up track and I drive right underneath them. They got them right up by the road, and I'm looking up those, You can't believe how tall they are. You ever been next to one? Go next to a window and look up and see what you're looking at. I got a whole lot of questions, but that's gonna be enough for now. Thanks, guys. I don't want those things anywhere in my county, in my state, in my township. I mean, even the economics of windmills is the stupidest thing.
Amen.
You can't possibly even believe you actually want those things in our state. I don't believe you do. I'm looking right at you. You can't. I just called you out. I mean, hard earth minerals, where do they come from? You see, now these people know.
Thank you, Fred.
They come mostly, oh, is that my 3 minutes?
No,
Okay, they come from China. Yeah, also Romania, Bulgaria, Eastern Europe. Not so much anymore, United States. The hard earth minerals, they won't. You got Hillary Clinton selling out our uranium contracts to Russia. Okay, if you had a question, I'd get a question.
I'm not sure anybody can top Fred, but hey.
Chelsea Stryker, Cato Township, this is my daughter, and because this is gonna affect her, she also has an opinion on this. So I would like you guys to listen to her, please.
Hi, my name is Stella Stryker, and I'm a student from Lakeview Schools. Normally, this wouldn't be something that a 10-year-old would be a part of, but now that my dad is on the planning commission, windmills have been talked a lot about at my house. I live on a small lake, and I think it's the best backyard in the world, with the most beautiful view. I am worried that these windmills are going to take away from that. I've been to Inland, and I've seen the giant towers along the way. I've visited Grand Rapids, and I've seen the very tall buildings there, and these would be taller than that. And that is overwhelming to think about. That could be close to my backyard, and I'm worried about my lake and that it will no longer be peaceful. Have you seen the bald eagles nest by the dollar store? I'm worried about them and what I think might be a new baby in that giant nest. I know that cars and other dangers are already out there for them, but I also know for 100% that right now they are not at risk for a windmill. But you guys might be changing that. What you decide now, I very well may have to clean up later, because this is my home and my future, so please protect that.
I'm not sure anybody can be able to top her. For being that young and talking like that, that's wonderful. Great job. Great job. Anybody else? Yes.
This young lady here is my thought on the way in here today, thinking.
Your name?
Linda Reynolds, I'm from Douglas. About everybody up there is fairly young. It's what's going to happen after the next generation, the next generation. You guys as grandkids are gonna be cleaning up the mess from this. And there is so much fossil fuels involved in constructing, bringing them in, erecting them, taking them